love my nephews, your two sons. If we're sitting there and one of them turns to me and says some beast beneath the board shit, the way Helena jumped at Allison and said,
it's time to go.
Like, we're
Wrap it up.
leaving.
It's
Well,
all
like,
done.
we're fucking out. This house is either haunted,
These
demonic.
boards? These
Which
boards right here?
Those boards?
Oh,
Buddy, show me the boards.
We're
What boards
staying
is there?
away from the
You don't have to.
boards.
We don't have to go to the boards.
You tell me what
Just
boards
point
they are,
at the boards.
and we'll stick
And
away
we're
from
going
them.
the fuck
No
away.
boards.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Brotherhood Without Manners, your favorite full spoiler reread podcast of George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire series. I took you on a ride with that one. As always, I'm your host, Zach, sitting here next to me, my brother Nate.
Still going for a ride, I guess.
You loved that intro.
You didn't stop. And this is the Hot D edition.
I almost, though, it is the Hot D edition. I almost forgot the name of our podcast. During that intro. I didn't need to point that out. I'm self-sabotaging here, but I almost lost it while I was in it, and it was a whole like moment of panic I had. Because you would have bitched.
I would have talked
and then
mad
I would have
shit.
deleted the clip, and we would have had to. I wouldn't have.
No, you
deleted
wouldn't
it.
have. Do you even know how to do that? Fuck off.
I sure do.
We read A Song of Ice and Fire here.
I read it
usually.
too, Nate. He can't read.
I can't read, but it's a nice story to hear as well. Audiobooks are a fine thing. You pick your narrator. Anyway, this episode, we're not reading books.
There's a little kitty cat.
Yes, I know.
There's a cat.
He's been
Hey,
distracting me,
everybody.
pointing
There's
at...
a kitty cat.
Lami the cat is here in the booth with us today. I'm
Lami.
trying to...
Okay.
Can we... We're watching House of the Dragon now.
We're watching TV.
Fuck's sake. Can't even get to that point.
There's a cat.
Last episode, we watched, what was it, Lord of the Tides?
Something like that.
I think so. And now we're on Season 1, Episode 9, The Green Council.
Bum, bum, bum.
In the last episode, there was some contention for who was going to inherit Driftmark after we learned that Lord Corlys had suffered a grievous injury, but he was alive. He was just suffering from some severe feverish issues that most people were not expecting him to recover from.
Damon and Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra.
Damon and Rhaenyra were kind of pissed to find that Viserys was so out of it due to his injuries and the medicine that the Hightowers were giving him that they felt they were basically ruling without him being dead yet, and styling the Red Keep after, their imagery and symbols. Right. And so
she did talk him into, he managed to make an appearance and say, what are we, I am confused.
We did this. We settled this matter. Yep, Vaemon got to keep his tongue but lost the top half of his head, and Rhaenys accepted Rhaenyra's proposal to marry.
And then we get to
children.
dinner. Fun little dinner.
Dinner.
And the... Aemond and Aegon are not thrilled with the strong boys.
Poor Patty puts on the performance of a lifetime as he's pleading with his family, no longer as a king, but just as a man, that he loves them all, and this infighting needs to stop, and it's breaking his heart. And he takes off his scary mask, and then we see the scarier face, and then he's in pain, so he leaves, and the children are not able to get over their hatred that's been instilled to them through generations now.
Generational trauma.
And so it ends with some fighting, some standing off with Daemon and Aemon, and the strong boys leaving with Rhaenyra escorting them back to... I mean, they are.
Yeah, sure. So, and most importantly with this recap, we get the ending where Viserys is continuing his conversation with Rhaenyra to Alicent regarding the Song of Ice and Fire from Aegon and his dreams. Mm-hmm. And Alicent makes some absolutely absurd leaps to understand and believe that he's saying, Aegon should be king. Fuck Rhaenyra. I was just being an asshole all these years. No, it's ridiculous and unacceptable.
So this episode picks up right after last episode with King's Landing after dark. We get these great shots of the castle, the Red Keep, empty as it's shut down for the evening, and it's phenomenal. I love the opening.
Yeah,
the music's
we're
all
following
slow
this
and still.
Little serving boy across the castle he's on a mission. He knows something, and runs straight to Talia,
the Queen's handmaiden, and the White Worm's little sneaky snake.
Yeah. Which this episode's the first episode I think that we get the name White Worm tied to Missaria, and Otto as well gets that all.
Otto.
Fuck him, we'll get to him later.
And yeah, so Alicent is awakened with the news and is visibly distraught about it, and tells Talia to tell no one and remain here. She goes immediately to her father, who kind of does seem to be mourning at first before switching into work mode, because he is kind of glassy-eyed, staring at the flames, and then he asks who else knows.
I think at first we see and learn concretely, I think, that Alicent did, though coerced and forced over her lifetime, love Viserys. Mm-hmm. And she was actually upset that she lost her husband here, and her father saw that at first.
Yeah. And his friend, like, Otto and Viserys ruled together for a while and were good friends, even though they had a somewhat tumultuous history. And so, yeah, I think Otto is doing some mourning here as himself. He's just then immediately going into pragmatism, and what has to happen next? Who knows? We need to take advantage of this. And so the small council is called, and of course Tylan makes a stupid fucking joke about what's so important it couldn't wait.
You know, this goofy Lannister fuck comes strutting in and just, what's so important?
Was Dorne invaded? Oh. And Otto tells them all the king is dead, but he left us a gift. He told his mother, alone where no one else could hear, that he wants his son Aegon to succeed him.
And the small council immediately jumps on that with, great, so our plans haven't been in vain, we can continue, and this is just going to benefit us.
So what we were doing, we can just continue doing now with his blessing, instead of it actually being labeled a plot.
However, Alicent and Lord Beesbury are completely in the fucking dark.
Which, I really like this decision, because, obviously, in Fire and Blood, we're told about the Green Council. We're told that Lord Beesbury dies and doesn't make it out of it.
But there's no confirmation as to what actually led to his
so I like
death.
Alicent being just as surprised here. You mean to tell me that members of my small council have been planning to instill my son without me? And there's no need to sully you with such darkling schemes, Your Grace. And she's like, oh shit. And then pieces it, what about Rhaenyra and Daemon? They're not going to bend the knee. And then, takes it that logical. You mean to kill them? Great.
Beesbury loses his shit. And it's at this moment that, for those who are regular listeners of the show, you are familiar with Zach's Renly rage. I discovered I have Criston Cole rage. Because fuck this guy.
Yeah.
All the fucking way. I fucking hate Criston Cole so fucking much. It's awful.
Beesbury is the oldest member of this council. He's known Viserys longer than any at the table, which is a fucking dope-ass claim, and says that this is theft, treason, and seizure, which it 100% is. And while he basically says he'll have no part of it, Sir Criston Cole then comes up, and you can see him slither into the background as Beesbury is delivering his little speech, and then forces this 76-year-old man to sit down, and with too much force impales his temple on his little small council
and then just stands over him like a freaking
dog,
claiming his prize.
Or like a child who doesn't fully comprehend what they just did.
I broke this.
It broke. This thing broke, and I didn't expect it to break. And then, of course, Harold Westerling draws that blade.
Dude.
Throw your shit down, you stupid little bitch. You just killed a member of the
And he pulls his sword out.
He pulls it out in the cuntiest way, too. In the way he holds it up. Westerling doesn't even blink. It is a perfect parallel to, even now I could cut through the five of you carving a cake. And basically Kristen's like, I'm not suffering insults to Her Grace the Queen. And everyone in the room is like, no one insulted Alicent, bro.
Yeah, Alicent's like, what insult?
So they
put away your sword.
They both sheathe their sword, but Westerling is rightfully pissed and asks Otto, is this what it comes to? And Otto is like, enough, Lord Commander.
Calm down.
Chill
Lord
your
Westerling.
shit. Okay, no, Westerling's the only reasonable person here. But the meeting goes on. They are not removing Beesbury because they will remain here until their work is sought through and what their next steps is planned out.
Yeah, man, it's immediate. The tone is set with that, where he says nobody leaves this room until we conduct our...
Except for Harold Westerling, who will be breaking that, because fuck this shit.
This shit
I love Alicent kind of looking at the pool of blood around Beesbury, and then just the callousness of which the meeting is about to continue. And when Tylan kind of starts talking, he mentions that Dragonstone will be, or Storm's End will be an issue. And Alicent's just like, fuck, and like, this is where we're at.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
And so, it's time for killing Rhaenyra. They can't be allowed. Rhaenyra cannot be allowed to live and call people to her banners. So Otto orders Sir Westerling to take his knights to Dragonstone. Be quick and be clean. But nah.
That's what. Yeah, Harold's done. He's fucking done. He unclips his cloak, balls that bitch up, and he's like, "I take orders from the king as a member of the Kingsguard. Until there is one, I have no place here. Deuces."
I have no place here because you're a bunch of scheming little cunts. I would have happily continued serving if things went normally the way they... But you're fucking...
You're awful usurpers.
You just killed Beesbury.
Beesbury.
He's just dead. This fucking dude who served faithfully all through Viserys' reign. Dead within the fucking hour of the dude being dead himself. A loyalist was already killed. Nah, yo, that's insane. And so I love it. I love the Barry energy. I love the direct breaking of Otto's command of no one leaves this room. No one fucking questions Westerling walking out of that room.
Right.
And bro, could go tell Rhaenyra. They're not... They literally kill people for leaving during this time. But Westerling is free to walk the fuck out. And, boss bitch
it's very
move.
Similar as to the Barristan the Bold thing, where he's... Who's going to stop him?
Who send someone to stop?
Right. Aemond, maybe?
Maybe. But even then,
he's
I don't think...
He's going to get overpowered.
I think
Westerling is just stronger and experienced.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm just going to go out and say it. Justice for Beesbury.
I mean...
Justice for Beesbury.
Sure.
Because fuck Kristen Cole.
Fuck Kristen Cole, but that,
Justice for Beesbury.
So, yes. That's going well. All that is left to do is tell the king
that he's the king.
But no one can fucking find him. He's not in his chambers, and Sir Eric the Kingsguard, sworn to protect him, doesn't know where he is, and when Otto tries to give him some toot about it, he's like, bro, he uses his position of power to force me to leave, and then he evades me. What do you want me to fucking do? He literally lords his station over me, commands me away, and then sneaks around like a fucking infant.
Now, as immature and ridiculous as little Aegon is here, dude didn't ever expect to inherit the throne.
Right. What do you expect when you literally allow these children this much freedom and power to do as they fucking please 24/7?
And then you're going to try and tell him,
and now
hey,
all of a
we're
sudden,
going to
you
usurp
need to
the
be
throne in your name.
responsible. You need to fucking care about this shit now all of a sudden. You were never groomed for it because you weren't expected to ever do it, but secretly everyone expected you to do it.
Right.
It's extremely unfair.
How dare you not know that?
Not to say anything of Aegon's character, because dude's a piece of shit.
Not a good guy.
Dude, spending his time in children fighting pits is horrid. It is such a... Almost, I would say, that is the point in this show where they get the most gratuitous, where it's almost too much to show the kids and fucking slamming each other. It's a lot, but it does paint, and I love that we get the audience's view is kind of shown through, and we're kind of jumping ahead here, but through Sir Eric and Sir Arik.
Yeah, I mean, we're almost
right
there
we're catching up to it. But yes, the twins are sent from Otto to go find him. And Alicent she goes and sees Helena and has to explain to her. And fuck everyone, leave Helena alone.
Love her.
But she jump scared me with there is a beast beneath the boards. Dude, love my nephews, your two sons. If we're sitting there and one of them turns to me and says some beast beneath the board shit, the way Helena jumped at Alicent and said,
it's time to go.
We're
Wrap
leaving.
It's all done.
We're fucking out. This house is either haunted,
These
demonic.
Boards?
These
boards right here?
Those boards? Buddy, show me the boards.
We're
boards
staying away from the boards.
We don't have to go to the boards.
You tell me what
just
boards
point
they are,
at the boards.
and we'll stick
and
away
we're
from them.
going the fuck away.
No boards.
But she just oh sweetling and hugs her. Alicent is interpreting this as some I don't know what, but is clearly just projecting her own lost, grieving bullshit onto Helena. Leave the darling baby angel alone.
Got a shot of the little ones, one of which will be joining Ned soon.
Oof.
Yeah. Blood and cheese.
Yeah, and so... Right, there's now this fun little game in King's Landing. Two different sides of the Hightower family trying to find the king for very different reasons. Alicent to basically try to preach leniency to Aegon. Let Rhaenyra and her children live.
Give them the chance to bend the knee.
Offer them agreeable terms, something that's not going to shame her, and let them live in peace. Otto, Daemon and Rhaenyra gotta go, along with their kids.
All of them.
And so whoever gets them first gets to manipulate the king. So again, horrid for Aegon. Like, there is no consideration of Aegon as a fucking person. It is purely for manipulate. And Alicent even, that's later, goes off on her father about a pawn on a board, but she's doing the exact same thing to her son.
Well, and it's like, it's that. If Aegon was given if they were like, hey, we're thinking about overthrowing Rhaenyra only because Viserys said that you should be king. Yeah, but, like, when did he say... Well, in his last gasping breath...
Literally the last thing of a
we get it once we get there, too, but motherfucker doesn't want this. He'd have been like, no. Like, if he said it, and I mentioned it when we were watching this, that it's
too little too late.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if he said it right there. He wasn't in his right mind, and that last moment... He's been on
milk of the poppy for fucking months. His injuries have him so in pain that Bro can barely think straight. Unless he was on the throne and said, I, Viserys the First Targaryen,
have changed my mind about what I've been saying,
and want everyone to swear fealty to my son and heir, Aegon the Second Targaryen. Then it's a fucking thing. But on his dying... And I'm pretty sure it's in the book somewhere that it's men's last words usually have about as much fucking meaning as their first words. Meaning it's incoherent babbling most times. There isn't some great poignant thing that most people say on their deathbed. It's usually incoherent mutterings. You know, if you've watched any of The Boys, there's some of that in the new season of the talk. The last thing out of your mouth may not be something quite so poetic. And it's wild to me that they take this so out of context. I love Alicent and, like, Slay Queen.
No, fun, great. Like, but it's a lot of fun to watch.
Purely, it's bullshit because he didn't declare it. He didn't make it law. He didn't make it known to anyone but the boy's mother.
So if they broached Aegon, they're trying to put as king, you know, maybe if he didn't, I mean, he'll eventually kind of be like, oh, power, yay. But it could have been very much so that, hey, now that they've named me king, this is bullshit. Dad didn't... He said it. Nope. Rhaenyra, get over here. If you swore fealty to me...
we see that shift because at the end he gets approval.
Right. And he loves that.
Yeah.
But
So, Aemond is going to accompany Cole to find Aegon because he's aware. He says Sir Eric isn't the only one who's aware of Aegon's proclivities. Yeah, and so him and Kristen go on a buddy cop mission as well.
Back to the, game you mentioned where it's the two different sides looking for the same prize. They're kind of bouncing around different brothels until Aemond and Cole
go to
spot Arik and Eric, making the deal which they had gotten broached during the fighting pits with the children. And in that scene, when they were in those fighting pits, we learn A, Aegon loves dropping dough here, betting on these little kids, and B, he's got lots of little bastards running around this place, which we, if you've read Fire and Blood, are fully aware of, because bastards start coming out of the woodworks everywhere. But they're having the conversation, and one of them, Arik, is not happy about the fact that, like, you've known that the prince has been in here doing this shit and you've allowed it to happen. Like, what's wrong with you? This is fucking vile. And then they get picked up by the White Worm's assistant, aide, helper, I don't know.
Yeah, she offers some info.
And that's what hooks Miss Arya.
Well, right, because the White Worm will only talk to Otto because they're not important enough. But
yeah, love it.
Before all that, Otto had assembled all the lords and ladies in King's Landing in the Great Hall and gave them the ultimatum. Either swear fealty to Aegon or die. You don't leave here. And, somebody says, like, I'm going to confer with my house, tries to leave. Nope, you're not leaving until a decision's made. And so the two people that do stay standing are let off. The one who was having thoughts, Alan...
Yeah, that's all I remember.
Yeah, Alan Caswell, Cargyle,
sure,
one of those.
Sure, whatever.
Thought about staying, stood, and then knelt, and then later tries to sneak away, is caught and hanged for it.
Was spotted by Larys, and Larys had people follow him out as he tried to make his escape, which, you rushed it, man. You should have bided your time a little bit and act like you were a faithful servant of the Green before you tried dipping out immediately.
So also during all this chaos, there is the smallest little click of a lock locking Queen Rhaenys, who is still in the city, into her room, and she is rightfully pissed about this, demanding to know the meaning of it, but she's left inside basically all day so that the Hightowers can keep doing their coup, which she pieces together by the time that Alicent ends up showing up, but... so she's looking out the window. She's seeing a lot of the small folk being herded through the city, or a lot of the castle.
Right.
Small folk, the castle help being put into the cells.
All the servants, all the staff.
No one's being allowed to leave. Everyone's being quarantined, basically, so
they
the
don't
news
want to
of
let the
Viserys
information
can
go
leak
out.
And so Alicent then comes and pays Rhaenys a visit.
Yeah, and this was
one of
awesome
the best scenes of the in a episode full of fucking fantastic scenes. This one steals the show with these two queens, absolutely. But she tells Rhaenys that the king is dead, and Rhaenys laughs and says, "And you're usurping the throne."
Yeah. She knows what's going on
immediately. And, of course, Alicent asks for her support. And she's like, damn, you bold, girl. You bold.
I can't believe you would straight up ask me that shit.
And then she pulls out the, what has Rhaenyra brought your family but death and suffering and...
Right, citing Laenor being, not having any true children. And then tells her, what do you want? You want Driftmark? I'll give it to you so that you and your daughters can have that, and it'll carry on through your name. And... I jumped ahead in the conversation there.
A bit, because this is the juicy part where
she also
Rhaenys says, you're wiser than I would have thought you were.
Which was also in part to her saying, Viserys, and she's saying it true, I think. Viserys never should have been king. It should have been you, and not just because girl power.
In temperament and in blood.
He should have been the lord at home in a quiet castle.
Yeah, that's what she said. He could have been the country lord.
And would have been great.
Yeah, perfect.
He'd have been a perfect Renly.
Yep.
Just... hanging out,
settle down,
debauchering.
Viserys the First.
No, he'd be more like
get the fuck out of my face. Don't start making me Renly rage on this episode.
It's the other one. What's Marjorie's other brother? Does the hawking? He's the cripple.
Willis.
Willis, is it Willis? Yeah. More like him.
Yeah.
He'd be like a Willis.
I love Willis.
Just Viserys acted.
It is
like
Willis Tyrell, right?
I think so.
Sounds
right.
Yeah. Sansa's hoping to marry him.
Right.
But yes. It's great, because yes, absolutely, Viserys should have.
She says, Valyrian oaths are not so fickle.
Yet, you also service in toil of men. Your father, your husband, your son. You desire not to be free, but to make a window in the wall of your prison. And then, like the boss bitch she is, she leans in and asks her, have you never imagined yourself on the Iron Throne? Girl power. Take it for the win.
And Alicent walks away.
Yeah, fuck you.
And, ring the bell if you have an answer.
When you're ready to answer. I'll leave you with your thoughts. So, yeah. We cut back to Mysaria and Otto's meeting, where basically she's lording over him that she holds all the power. She found the king now in Flea Bottom, fucked up. And decided, probably should spirit him away, mainly because we saw Talia giving what I'm assuming was the preordained sign that the king is dead in the window, lighting a candelabra with a certain number of candles. I believe 7, which, to me is like the 7 gods. So,
what?
It's that symbol
the
of the king
has now arrived,
the
king,
7th
god.
Yep, the king is dead. And so Mysaria knew that scooping up Aegon, somebody was going to come for him, and she uses it as her bargaining chip with the hand of the king, which is why she demanded him, to end these bullshit fucking children fighting pits. And so hard skirt out, and I know a lot of people had issues with Mysaria's accent in this in these couple episodes, and I get but it doesn't take me out of it or anything.
No, it's fine.
I mean, she's definitely playing it up, I think, but I think that kind of is the character of the White Worm. It's why wouldn't she put an accent to thicken her voice when talking to Otto Hightower. Absolutely. And then, almost naively, like, Otto gives her the most ominous, I will remember.
He will remember this decision.
Right. But it actually ends up being Alicent who has her shit torch, which is with Larys. But, you know. And so, yeah, she basically tells him that you can find him at the Sept of Baelor. I had him squirreled away. And Sir Eric and Auric go there and find him underneath the central pillar.
Drag him out.
And he wants nothing, absolutely fucking nothing.
And then I love Eric tackling him. He just takes off. He makes a break for it. And he's like, nope, not doing it. And Eric's like, full launch tackles him to the ground. Yeah, he tells him,
you're running from what men have died for. And, like, you're right, that should tell you all you want. He doesn't want it. But also, Auric is not engaging in this struggle. He's conflicted, clearly. And I really love the development of the brothers in this whole episode, seeing them questioning. And that, he's looking at Aegon going, they want to give this guy absolute power.
This is the dude they want to put in charge?
That's fucking scary.
Dude, we just left those fighting pits that you hung out with him in, and you want to put him in charge?
But, surprise, Aemond and Cole are waiting outside.
Fucking Criston Cole.
Sick-ass scene, though, because the really shot of them fighting while the two brothers are running, it's fucking well done.
Again, he just, at the end, when he finally takes Eric's sword, he's a smug son of a bitch.
And like, even during, where's your brother?
You weren't even winning at the beginning. Like, yes, you won in the end, whatever, you disarmed. Fuck you, Criston Cole.
Fuck you, Cole.
God, I hate that guy.
Cunt.
God, I hate that guy.
But Aemond and Aegon have a fun little chase sequence where Aemond then tackles him, and they struggle, and Aegon spits in his face, rude. But it's discussion about the king, and Aegon tells him, let me go. I'll get on a fucking ship. It can be yours.
I'll disappear.
And Aemond wants to think about it, but then there's fucking Cole, swarmy little ass. The queen awaits. And you can just see both of them kind of
smarmy, fucking ugh.
Yeah, and so Aegon is defeated. Aemond is perplexed by that offer and very tempted by it, because the whole episode he's talking to Cole about why he is better suited and how he wouldn't flee from this burden, unlike his little pissant brother.
Right.
And so he clearly wants the throne, but he kind of just sits on this one and doesn't.
Yep. So then we get a scene again with Alicent and Otto, and it's Otto is very Cersei-like here.
Well played.
Well played. Very well done. And she's like, this isn't a fucking game, but you've been playing it nonetheless, haven't you?
Yeah, she goes kind of ballistic, mentioning, basically the lifelong grooming of, I've always been a piece. And I fucking realized that now. And he's like, well, if you're a piece, I made you the queen. And, like, that's pretty dope, isn't it? Hey? Huh?
Yeah?
But she's not having it. And she basically declared, and I love it, one of her best lines is that the reluctance to murder is not weakness. And so counseling Aegon a different path is not a show of weakness. It's a show of... that's the important. Like, it will show the realm that there is leniency.
They need Aang the Avatar here, because
there's a diplomatic solution here, and the cooler heads are not prevailing.
Yeah. So then she finishes the conversation.
I have Aegon.
So we'll proceed as I see fit, and.
Gross. Criston's going to be the Lord Commander, which is just absolutely foul.
It's just the start.
How dare you stand where he stood?
He keeps...
Sir Harold Westerling was the best man ever, and you don't deserve to stand there.
He went from Dornish mercenary to Kingsguard to Lord Commander. Soon he'll become a hand.
But he's always been a cunt.
He's always been a smug cunt.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Love the actor. The guy plays it
he's
fucking well.
Amazing.
It is this love to hate Criston Cole.
Right, absolutely.
And it's fucking phenomenal. So, yeah, and most crucially, they're going to send terms to Rhaenyra. Fair terms that she can accept without shame. And then Otto grossly does the, you look like your mother in certain lights. And Alicent eye rolls as having none of it. And then there's the small little bit of development for Otto that I like, which is as she closes the door, because he is a weak, pathetic, egotistical man, he then says as you wish, which, he is serving his daughter's interests as well. Right. He does, in his gross, groomy, high-towered Lord Dad,
care for his
daughter's future, probably a little more than in the exact moment. But, yeah, it is this, he is impressed by her, outmaneuvering him here. And even her having at least the foresight to equip Aegon with Blackfire, the ancient sword of Aegon, the crown of the Conqueror, dress him up in all the fixings, and who the fuck can challenge that claim? And so Otto is like, there you go, girl. That's the fire. It's just like when he had a semi-chub for her grabbing the dagger and going at Rhaenyra.
Yes, right.
It's that, you outplayed me, and like you actually do know what you're doing.
That's what I'm talking about. Right. So then it gets even worse. Because Alicent gets back to her room.
Poor Alicent. Like,
and the girl's
I'm going to have a glass of wine, and then I'm going to go to fucking bed. Nope.
Oh, look, there's the club for...
The hour is late, Laris. Yes, but there's something you need to know,
he's very much a Snape in
and
this.
And then, your first watch through, you pick up on the gross featy thing. On this watch through, I actually was able to see the fucking exchange of information. Like,
understand what they're saying.
He stops.
He won't allow it until she puts her feet.
Bit, and then
she puts her feet up. Then he gives a little more. Then she takes the stocking off. Then gives a little more.
There's something you should know. She kicks her feet off and puts them up. Then he tells her that there is a web of lies within within the Red Keep, and that a bunch of them are close to her. So she takes the stockings off, puts the bare feet up. So he tells her that it's your handmaiden Talia, and that your father has allowed this web to stay intact, but we can handle it if you want me to handle it. And she's like, could you handle it? And he's like, if you wish it to be handled, then I'll handle. So then she turns so that he can jerk off his dick to her feet. That's the payment here. And it's such a gross exchange of goods, but like, man, it makes Larys just such a...
Like, we knew he was a bad guy with the murders, but this is just another level of depravity.
This is what...
I mean, not the kink shame, but it's the blackmailing.
No, yeah, right.
It's
the I am lording vital information over you. And we know the guy's a snake because he offered Otto, because Otto mentioned you've been spending a lot of late nights.
That information.
There's no reason that can't benefit you. Let me see them feet, old man.
Let me see your feet, Papa.
What? No. Dude, I'd love that reveal though. If fucking Larys is in there jerking off to Otto's feet too. Don't shave them.
Oh no.
But no, it's
moving on.
It's a gross exchange. Like, of all the things you could ask the Queen of the fucking Seven Kingdoms, let me look at your feet while I fucking touch myself, is just such a level of petty that I love.
And
Varys
a power
having.
Move to put that control.
Well, right, it's 100%. She's not comfortable with
control,
it. She has to look away, and 100% know she's going far away in her mind to not fucking listen to this dude grunting.
So then we get the next morning.
Morning.
I'm rushing past that now.
Yeah.
We're done. We're done with it.
Whew. Rhaenys is woken up by Sir Eric, who Rhaenys is needed a hero, and he's getting her the fuck out of here.
Let's go.
She needs a hero to get to the dragon pit. That's about it.
And we see that as they're escaping and running out of there, Mysaria's headquarters is on fire, where she'd been hanging out.
Whoopsie.
As we know now, Larys is obviously...
works quick.
He handled it and likes to burn fucking places down. Look at Harrenhal.
Right. As Rhaenys and Sir Eric are getting kind of shepherded through the city with the small folk who are all being herded to the dragon pit, though we're not shown this yet, they do see the carriage of King Aegon and Alicent go by, in which...
Prince. He's not king yet.
Aegon does not give a fuck on any of this, and she's bitching at him. You could be grateful, and he's like, Dad never wanted me to be king, bitch. Like, he never liked me, and that this is only happening because it's you and Papa, Grandpapa.
And then she does the same thing that Otto's been doing to her whole life, and starts pulling the manipulation with... It was what he whispered to me. Is that Lamy cat screaming?
Lamy screaming?
If you hear the yelling, Lamy just hasn't been pet in 25 minutes, so he's frustrated, and so we apologize. Yeah, Lamy, stop it. Stop it. Anyway, where was I?
Yeah, she opens the box with the dagger because she tells him in his dying breath he changed his mind. And
do not toy with me, mother.
Well, he laughs at that. He laughs when she's like, he changed his mind. And then she opens the Valyrian dagger box. And you can see he wants to believe, but and so, yeah, once he's king, Otto is going to, she immediately goes into, once you're king, my father is going to insist that you execute Rhaenyra. You need to not do this. We need to...
Right, as we mentioned, offer fair claims that aren't going to shame her. Good luck finding those. I mean, in all honesty.
And he, as he's eyeing the dagger, asks her, do you love me, mother? And she, with the cold, you imbecile. And it's just, ouch. Jesus Christ, Alicent.
Nope.
Alicent.
Ugh.
Alicent.
And so we're inside the dragon pit with Otto in front of all of King's Landing, introducing Aegon.
Yep.
And they make a show of it.
And breaking the news of Viserys.
Right,
yeah.
They start with the
the king is dead, but he has graced us with a wonderful thing, and yeah.
He decided last night, literally, he was just whispering to me, we were throwing some brewskis back, and he was like, it'd be cool, actually.
It'd be sick, dude.
I know I've been saying for like 60 years, but like instead.
Wouldn't it be fucking funny?
Aegon.
How pissed would Rhaenyra be?
Could you imagine
her face,
dude.
Could
you imagine? You have to tell me about it after. Fucking ridiculous.
It's crazy.
But they make a huge show of it. This giant procession.
Fuck Kristen Cole, because he makes weird, awkward announcements, and I hate him for it. That's the only thing I have for that. The coronation's actually like really neat to see. It's cool to see the old school Targaryen coronation. Helaena slaying it up there. Love her.
Always slaying.
Kill it, girl. And yeah, there is a big fucking show made of it. Here's the sword, here's the crown, and he gets anointed with the oils, and Cole puts the crown on him himself, and they begin to applaud and cheer, and he, for the first time, is getting mass approval.
Oh,
and is soaking it up.
Oh my.
Until there's a mass execution of some small folk when Rhaenys bursts out of the floors.
Yeah, I mean, that's funny enough that you say that. That's the true heart of the story, people.
Right.
They're not
good people.
These are the 0.5%ers that are like, oh, did I just slaughter them with my nuke?
My sick ass girl.
Rhaenys is one of my favorites in the entire series.
Super wise, apparently kinder than most. Right. Fuck them. They're
just small folk. Doesn't matter.
These aren't good people, folks. So, like, arguing Team Green versus Team Black to the point of...
They're all bad!
...of vitriol is insanity, because these are all terrible people. Alicent, Rhaenyra, the whole lot of them, okay?
So, yeah, Rhaenys comes out, because she was like, I'm not leaving without my dragon. Rhaenys was like, not happening.
This woman could ravish me.
She's amazing.
I love her so fucking much.
The red dragon just fucking slamming and smashing through some people gets right into the faces of the new king.
Dude, Alicent, like, pushing her, she demands Cole to get Helaena. And he doesn't.
To Rhaenys' credit, that's why she should claim the throne for herself.
100%.
She would have a much better job.
Right,
because
Alicent immediately steps in front of the king with the Valyrian sword Blackfire, ladies and gentlemen. Aegon the Conqueror's sword this lad has on him, yet his mother steps forward to face Melee's the dragon. Just saying, Rhaenys wasn't wrong. Alicent should have gone and plopped her wonderful self on that throne.
More so than Aegon.
100%. The roar is incredible.
I love that before the roar even lets up, Alicent begins looking at Rhaenys in shock of like, there's no fire.
We're not dead.
Yeah.
I can still feel.
Even with the roar continuing.
Yeah.
She's
just a roar,
bitch.
right, like that. She realizes what's happening of like, this is just intimidation. We're okay.
We're not dead,
Because it was everyone. Their whole family was there. Right. Otto, Alicent, Aegon, Aemon, Helaena. I know, Helaena. I would have... Sir Kristen, but, like, please cook him.
Cook him. We've been saying cook Kristen forever. Right. Crispy Cole, get him the fuck out of here, burn the bitch.
And Rhaenys just gets this badass action shot. Her badass armor, her
Told
badass...
you I wasn't staying here.
Yeah, she scoffs. Melee's fucking squeaks out of the closing doors and does a sick-ass takeoff over King's Landing. And we're left with every single Hightower Targaryen breathing a sigh of relief, but Alicent then kind of closing her eyes and it fades to black, which I just love that effect of this. Holy fuck. Like, they all just pissed.
Yeah.
They all pissed
for
their
sure.
pants. There is no way they did not. And that's episode 9, folks.
That's the Green Council.
What I love the extrapolation on these. Just getting to see the Green Council is fucking amazing.
I was gonna say, I don't know about the fandom as a whole. This is one of the parts that I was most looking forward to.
Same.
What are we gonna see happen in there?
Right?
What are
is
they
it
gonna
just straight up Alicent being like, "Kill them all"? Yeah.
Right. And so exactly that. The extrapolations that are being pulled and filled in the gaps that we're seeing. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's good stuff. I don't... People just can't enjoy things, it seems to me. Like, this show is very derisive, and I'm not sure why. We're getting to see parts of this world that we didn't from the original. Like, the shots of King's Landing just make me so happy.
Yeah, that early morning, nighttime shot at the beginning.
Those setting shots.
They're doing a lot of those.
Of the empty cat. Like, we basically get to walk around the Red Keep, in this show.
And see it, we're getting to see it from the eyes of other people as
well.
Right,
we're getting the secret little balconies where Eric led Rhaenys out, like these cool little side entrances, and the streets of King's Landing, the gross, nasty area.
Street of Silk.
The Street of Silk. Like, it's all these really fucking cool places. And that's just in King's Landing. Like, we do get really other awesome places as well.
Right,
but
we've been in Driftmark
this episode
Dragonstone.
Specifically focused on the events in King's Landing, which I love. It's all the green episode, and then we get the black episode next.
Episode we get all the black.
And the finale with basically the declaration of war with the death of a son. And so hopefully you'll join us for that. But God damn, it's a strong episode 9 for the first season of House of the Dragon.
Right, which means we're wrapping up this season. We've got one more episode, the finale.
Yeah.
And I know we had mentioned, but we're gonna finish this season up.
Yeah, we're just kind of powering through. We were gonna match season 2 in this one, but it seems to just be working out as far as scheduling that it just seems to be better to knock out season 1. But we'll do what we can when we can. They'll be coming to you. So.
Yeah, so if you've got anything to say, anything to add, anything you want to ask, go ahead and send us an email, withoutmannersbrotherhood@gmail.com, and check out the next episodes. We're having a lot of fun with these ones.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Alrighty then. Vala de Harris.
Peace.